let's talk about your cuteness. So, we have an announcement. We have a new format. So we're dividing the podcast in two. Before we had two main sections. And now we're going to have 2 episodes for each section. So one episode with a follow-up and the by the way, and another episode for the main section.
Yeah, so it's not that much of a change in format, right? It's just releasing the 2 parts separately so that each one is more focused on its topic.
Exactly. And if you like us because we blabber on weird stuff, then you can only listen to By the Way. If you like us because of the main topic, more
in-depth and heavy.
Yeah, exactly. More in-depth conversation, then you can only listen to the main topic. So it's be a bit easier to follow us.
As a nice side effect, we have a bit more time to address listener comments, follow-ups, and all kind of follow-up discussions. So don't hesitate to let us know what you think, as always, about the episodes or about this format on all the social networks, all of them, like Gmail, Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, etc. Not Daily Podcast, all in one go. Let's start the new format right now with the follow-up of last time and our recent experiences.
Let's talk about Reading Corner.
Yeah, so did you think more about how to make my Reading Corner perfect? No, you didn't. You think it's perfect already?
No, I already told you. Like, I think like it lacks a lot of light, an outside kind of feeling, but like you can't do much.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder what part of what we discussed is subjective and what part of what we discussed is objective, because I realized that, so you say you want a lot of light, open, nature, etc., but I've been thinking a lot about it when I was using my Reading Corner, and I kind of like the fact that it's small, cozy, and dark, because the page becomes all that I see, and so that really helps me focus in a way, I guess.
But aren't you falling asleep?
I'm always falling asleep.
But that's the thing, though. Like, if you're right in front of a window with a lot of sun, like, you won't fall asleep.
Well, with the artificial light right on the page, it's still pretty bright on the page and black outside, and it doesn't make me too sleepy.
But there's no UV. Like, you know what I mean? It's not the same. Like, you should buy a UV light, maybe. I don't know, because like I did that when I was younger and like a student, and I needed to study like for an exam. I bought, like, my grandma had like this massive UV light. I would put that on my desk right in front of me during the whole night, and it would actually work like super well to help me focus. It was a bit insane. Like, the effect was like I was feeling the effect of it.
Okay, that's interesting. I never actually thought about it. If anyone has other feedback about UV lights.
But like, you know, it's a medical one, like not the cutesy little one to help you wake up. Like, it's the actual, like, big, white, disgusting, plasticky, kind of expensive.
So you have you had a suntan bed essentially in your home.
It's not really, I don't know, like, I don't think it tan you. I don't think so. Yeah, so it's not like, I'm not sure, because like I searched for literally 2 minutes, but I think that it's not UV light. It's just like a very, very strong light with different wavelengths as like a normal light, but it's not like ultraviolet wavelengths. And yeah, and it helps you focus, and like it has like it's used for like many, many reasons. But I remember feeling very, very focused while using it. So I think maybe for Reading Corner, it would be kind of nice.
That's interesting. Yeah. I don't promise I'll do it, but I do appreciate that, you know, my Reading Corner is up a mezzanine bed, so it's very close to the light that's on the ceiling, and it is appreciable. It's nice. I don't know, it feels nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't do anything for my Reading Corner, so like I thought like by the time we record the second episode I would have a book, like a bookshelves, but that didn't happen because I can't find one. Like I think like actually people don't buy book that much anymore, and so if you want bookshelves, you need to actually custom made it, which is a bit insane.
What? I don't think so. I mean, what is the requirements for a bookshelf for you? What is the perfect bookshelf?
I don't know. It needs to be like 2 meters high, not like 150, like actually 2 meters high, even higher. Like I would prefer 3 meter high, but like whatever. Let's say 2, like 250. Like actually I wouldn't buy something at 2. So like 250 minimum. And then it needs to be like...
Okay, I think this is your problem because no one is sitting that high.
And then it needs to be large. Like because like the BD from IKEA is not large. Like it's just like one shelf, one shelf, one shelf, one shelf. And you can put like 20 books per shelf. And like it's a bit weird like to have like this one tiny bookshelf in the middle of your living room. Like I feel it's a bit weird.
You can put 2 of these tiny bookshelves next to one another and make a bigger one.
Yeah, so I had that like at Joe's, like we used to have like 3 BDs, but it's not like very good looking either. You know what I mean?
Okay. I think what you mean to say is that there is no bookshelf for your specific requirements of a huge room you want to put it into.
I mean, like I think my parents, like because at my parents' place, like there's bookshelves in every room that takes like actually like the whole pan of the wall. I feel I'm just used to it by now, and I kind of like the idea of it.
I admit that it does look nice. It is pretty. I don't know. Okay, maybe. So I have a few follow-up questions for you. So maybe we should get to them because we keep blabbering. We talked about the fact that it was better if the nook was visible to create the habit, like to lower the barrier of entry to get into reading. But what if your habit is already established? Did you think you need it to be visible, or can you have a little remote corner?
I think that's fair. Like if the habit is there, I think like...
I guess the biggest question is how do you lose habit, and you have to maintain the ease of access. But that's a whole thing in itself.
Well, I think like, yeah, to lose a habit, you need a change in your life somehow. But like with book, like we already talked about that during the episode. Like it's also about like having a bad book that you force yourself to read, and then you're kind of disgusted of reading. Not disgusted, but like you kind of forget of like to read it, and then you don't read. And that sometimes happen, I guess. I don't think it's about if you already had a habit. I don't think that matters that much, I guess.
Because right now, I think my habit is well established, so it doesn't matter too much. I have to climb there.
Is your habit like established now? I don't know. Last month you were like, "Oh, it's new. I'm not sure."
Yeah, I don't know. Now I read pretty much 1 hour every day before sleep.
Wow, that's amazing.
I don't know. I don't progress a lot because I read Japanese sometimes, so it's hard. And I don't know. Yeah, I read a little bit every day.
That's great. Like I don't anymore.
Well, so that ties into the another question I wanted to ask, which is what do you think about reading a little bit at a time versus a lot in a go? Because I feel like you're more into like reading a big chunk of 6 hours or something, whereas I'm more into reading 1 hour every day.
I think like it really depends on like the books you're reading and like when are you reading it. Like I loved like reading in the subway before, like so 30 minutes per 30 minutes. I love doing that, but I also love Sunday afternoon, like sunny, wintry Sunday afternoon. You're in your little chair, you're reading with a cat, and you just spend the whole afternoon reading with like a little tea.
So you do both essentially, like both short and long.
Also, it depends if like it's fiction or non-fiction. Like if it's fiction, it's way easier to do like a 6-hour session. Like if it's non-fiction, like then like you kind of get bored about the subject matter after like 1 or 2 hours.
Okay, so there's no easy answer to the question. Like, do you recommend me to try to shoot for a long session or short sessions if I'm trying to read more?
No, yeah, I think it depends on the books and like your environment as well. I don't know, like you know what I mean? Like you can't read Sartre for 6 hours. Like you'll go insane.
Yeah, I think one thing that helped me a lot in picking up this habit is that I'm reading several stuff in parallel because I don't know. I have a weird brain that where I cannot like marathon series or stuff like that. I need to switch context often to keep me engaged. So I read one chapter of this and then switch to one chapter of this.
When I was reading a lot, I always was reading like 3 books at the same time, like a non-fiction and 2 fiction, which was like something I was doing. But I like marathoning, like, and I love marathoning, like science fiction.
Everybody does. I'm the only one who doesn't.
I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, you enter the fiction and then you're in there for like 2 weeks and it's amazing and you're always like, I don't know, you feel like you're kind of part of it.
I guess the whole question, like the whole, this whole question deserves maybe a discussion in itself. Like, why do I not like marathoning? I think I do like marathoning when the thing is really good, when the world is really good, when I don't have to make conscious effort to fix the plot that I'm watching. And that practically never happens. Like, the only thing I've ever enjoyed like that is Caprica.
Ender's Game was fine.
Where I could watch things back to back. As a movie?
No, as a book.
As a book? Yeah, I guess in books, maybe I marathon books easier than series. Because the author actually thinks about before writing.
I don't know, because for me, like, TV shows are a bit different. Because it's very rare that I, like, watch them with a full awareness of what's happening. Like, usually I'm on my phone, I'm doing something else. So, like, I'm marathoning them, but in a sense of just, this is what's on my TV during my evening, more so than, like, I'm actually doing just that for the whole evening.
Yeah, well, I don't consider it watching.
It's very rare that, like, it's good enough to only do that.
Yes. Okay, then we are kind of in agreement, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a bit sad. Like, I was trying before, like, what I was trying to do is, like, when I started meditation a year ago now, I was trying to actually watch TV, but actually watching TV, you know what I mean? Like, not doing anything else. And I found it, like, super hard. I stopped trying now. Like, I'm like, whatever. Like, I feel it's kind of nice to just, like, chill with the TV on. But I don't know. I kind of want to, like, start this habit of, like, being fully aware of what I'm doing again. No, I think I need to, like, start meditating again. Because, like, I think, like, meditating every day forced me to be a bit more aware of, like, how I was doing stuff. Which is, like, which was, like, I think a good habit to, like, keep. You didn't try meditation, did you?
Not really. Well, not much, no. Yeah, it's a whole thing in itself, meditation. I should probably stay focused on reading Nooks.
Yeah, but, like, reading Nooks is done, no?
No, there was actually a big thing we didn't talk about when we talked about the environment. We mostly, we talked about light, we talked about a lot of visual cues, and we didn't talk about audio cues at all.
Ooh, interesting.
Do you think music is good to read to? Do you think you'd rather put, like, the sound of a fountain or something like that?
2 months ago, I would have said I really hate white noise. I really don't like them. Like, this is not a thing I like at all. But something changed. I found out that I have, like, a premium Headspace subscription that I bought one time in my life. I don't know. Headspace is a meditation app, like the biggest meditation app. Now it became this huge app with meditation, sleep helping, music, workout. Like, it becomes this whole thing. And so 2 months ago, I opened the app. Like, I was like, oh, it's been a long time. And it was for work. I was like, whatever. Like, I was looking for something for work. And then I found out that I was, like, subscribed. And I was like, okay, fine. Like, I paid for that one.
Can't wait to see how it's going to tie
and
back
there was this
to
new
the
tab
audio.
called, like, music or sounds or something. I was like, what the fuck is that? And there was, like, 10 or 15, like, 2 hours soundtrack, which is clearly kind of white noise, that are amazing. Just, like, they are the most amazing soundtrack ever that, like, helps you focus. There is, like, 2 soundtracks of watery, rainy kind of stuff, which are not less amazing than the other one. But the music one, like, the one done by Hans Zimmer.
Okay.
And it's just amazing. Like, I don't know how the guy do it, but, like, it just, I don't know, your brain go into that space completely, like, directly into the space of, like, focus, and, like, you're not really listening to it, but, like, I don't know, it's, like, the most amazing thing.
It's by audio waves. They interact. They manipulate your brain cells directly.
I would recommend that shit.
Okay, so you'd recommend that. Okay. How does that compare to the YouTube the YouTube usual stuff like lo-fi beats to chill?
It's very very high quality lo-fi done by Unseen.
It's high-low. Okay.
I used to listen to a lot of like lo-fi, like this little girl with a cat next to a window thing.
Mm-hmm.
And basically this has transformed into this. I don't know, like I think like for reading, I think music is great, but I also think that you can't have very, very strong pop music because like it distracts you too much.
Yeah. In particular, I can't really focus on the book if I can follow the lyrics or something like that. I put stuff either without lyrics or in a language that I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember when I was younger, when I was reading, like I remember distinctly when I was reading Samurai Deeper Kyo, I was listening like an insane person to Mika, to the first album of Mika. And like, so now if I hear a song of Mika,
think about it.
Like instantly my brain goes to Samurai Deeper Kyo. It's a bit insane. But at that time, I don't think I spoke English.
Yeah, so you didn't have this focus program. I guess it also depends on people, right? I assume some people have less trouble focusing, ignoring the background audio or something.
I think sometimes it happens, like in the subway, like I put my music streaming in like basically random, so like sometimes it happens as like there's like very high lyrics and I'm reading, but like you don't really, once you're focused, I don't think you hear that much music.
Yeah, you need to maintain the focus and not lose focus. Sometimes music takes you out of it.
I think like this is one of my quality. Like once I'm focused, you know what I mean? Like there is nothing that can unfocus myself.
Well, let me tell you that it's not universal.
But maybe, I don't know, I think you should try the headspace thing, or to find like a bootstrap version of it.
I mean, I know it's not like I'm desperate I'm lacking a good music. I just wondered if you had an idea of what is the best.
To be honest, like I don't like to read in silence. Like I find it a bit weird.
Yeah, that was my question.
If you think about it, like it's a weird behavior that like humans do, like reading. I don't know, like basically you're staring at a blank piece of paper with scribbled on it. Like that's what you're actually doing. And so without music, I feel like my brain can't, I don't know, like it always links back to what a weird little experience that we're doing.
And music helps streamline you into... Okay.
Yeah, it helps me saying like, okay, it's not that weird, like we're doing something.
Yeah, so basically, I guess the audio landscape is also a bit important.
But maybe it's a bit of there's not enough stimulus, and like my brain is like, I need something else.
Yeah, but I think that's fair because I mean silence is very silent.
Yeah.
I guess you're not used to that in our society anymore, but
yeah, maybe.
Before moving on, we didn't talk last time too much about home decor. We talked much more about reading and stuff. Is there anything you wanted to say about home decor, feng shui, or whatever? Or
yeah, home decor is awful.
Home decor can be hard. Attempt with moderation. Consult a professional before.
Yeah, clearly. No, but like I understand. Yeah, way too stressful. I think that's why like my flat will stay kind of empty.
Maybe we can do a follow-up about that, saying like, what can you do to make home decor less stressful for you?
I think you need to be rich and hire someone to do it, which is not happening here.
Yeah, but what if you don't like the result then? Like, delegating this kind of decision, I'd be a bit uncomfortable with it.
That you need to not do it, that's all. You need to be like happy with what you have and like whatever.
To live in an empty flat.
Well, this is what I've done for the last like year and a half, 2 years, and I think it kind of works. Like I don't mind.
The thing that philosophers like Diogenes don't tell you, like if you abandon material life, the main reason is to not be stressed by home decor, probably. This episode is brought to you by podcast platforms. If you want to listen to a podcast, you can use a podcast platform. That's what they're for. By the way, we are still in lockdown. Do you remember 1 year ago when you were like, oh, say we're in lockdown so that we'll remember.
Yeah.
Dude, it's the new normal. But
exactly.
an interesting thing happened, I feel, is that people moved a little bit away from Among Us and tried other games.
Thank God. Among Us was just like the worst fad ever.
I don't know. Let's not get too political here. I don't know where it came from, but I feel like there's this new game that got a little bit popular lately. I don't know why after 1 year of being stuck at home people started playing that, but I played it and then you played it, so let's talk about it. The name was Gartic phone.
Garlic phone?
And the concept Gartic. I called
Gartic?
garlic. Yeah, I called garlic phone for fun.
I thought it was garlic
Gartic.
phone. Like I actually thought it was garlic phone, and
What sense does that make?
I don't know. It made no sense whatsoever. But
And so the whole concept of the game is that it's a telephone thing, like where people have one message they pass around.
it's a telephone thing. What?
The telephone is the category of game. You don't know that? I guess maybe for an international podcast you should. So it's a telephone game called also Chinese Whispers in English, Téléphone Arabe in French. Chinese Whispers is actually a fairly common name because I think the Japanese version is called something like that too.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay, good.
I don't know
Okay.
why. Chinese Whispers. Anyway, but the concept is that people pass a message to one another, and at the end, the message is completely different, and it's a lot of fun, but it's not really a game because there's no winner or no score in any way whatsoever. And the interesting part in this platform is that you alternate between drawing and text, so you have to describe the drawing in a very few words, and then you have to draw this. And I found that it was a little bit interesting on a philosophy, like on a pretentious point of view, because I think about it in a mathematical way. There is some attractor points, it feels like, some subjects that are more stable than others in this, and it's not always what you expect. So I think if you say carrot, for instance, I think carrot is a good example of a stable concept. Like you write carrot, someone draws a carrot and can be very simple, very symbolic, and people will still recognize it.
Yeah.
And it always, so there seem to be some subset of concepts that are more stable through this exercise, like fixed points. And any sequence gravitate toward them eventually. And you can really see the oscillations at the beginning and then sometimes like the stable sequence. Do you have the same experience?
Completely agree with you, which is a bit what I find also interesting is like when people are writing sentence with like actual people, friends that they're playing with, and so you can see the common traits that people think when they think about you, which I found very interesting. And that's actually the same thing. Like when, for example, like people think about me, one people will think about something, the other will think about something, and you can see like there's a lot of variation at the start, and then it just becomes this one symbol of like me, which is kind of interesting.
Okay, was there a symbol of you that stayed as a stable concept?
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's true for everyone. Like I think
it is.
You
Like
think
guess
it is?
what it was for me.
Well, I think I was there.
Yeah, you was. But like it's fucking glasses. Like I don't have glasses for the last 3 years, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, so this innocuous game, like, I don't know, makes me think about like the essence of things in a very weird way, because it seems like the essence of Vlad has glasses.
Yeah, exactly. But like what's super interesting, I think, is also that like it shows the how does fucking Jung say that? The collective and consciousness.
Collective and conscious. Well, it's more localized than, I don't know. Well,
no, the collective of the group, of like the group that you're playing with.
About you, but you can also have the collective and conscious of mankind.
What the game shows is like it shows the collective mindset of like the 10 persons that play with on anything, basically.
Yeah, some stuff are going to be shared with other groups and some stuff are going to be groups separate.
Oh, do you think that there's like a universal truth about like some stuff?
I mean, I think, and it gets it's a very platonic game in a way, because you get the perfect shape of the carrot. For instance, the carrot, I think, is probably shared with all groups. I mean, you'd need a better experiment to conclude that, but carrot seems to be like, orange triangle and like 2 green circles on top.
Yeah.
Seems to me a very stable concept.
Do you remember the Google website, like Doodle? It was not Doodle, it was something like that, where like they train an algorithm on doodles, and like then you can doodle on the website and they tell you what you doodle.
Yes, that was, well, this is the early steps, machine learning 101, right? The stuff that was really popular in 2015.
Yeah. But I think like it's kind of like the same at the end of the day. Like the algorithm can show you what the humanity think when they think about carrots visually.
Well, I don't know. So I think the Google thing was telling you recognizing pictures, no? Was it recognizing or drawing?
No, it was actually just like recognizing.
Yeah, because later on, and less known projects, I've been looking a lot into like digital art lately, and I've seen a few people who attempted to do the reverse. So tell the AI, draw me a carrot. And so you can use a generative AI to do that, and then it produces a carrot, like a drawing that imitates a human. But I don't think that's the most interesting. I've seen some really cool art projects that try to understand and picture the latent space of the machine learning algorithm, and output that directly, like in a few strokes. What are the main components of a carrot? Like try to reduce the dimension to make it something more symbolic, more essential. And there is a few artists that sell these prints. And don't promise anything, but I'll try to find them for editing, and I'll send them to you and to everyone. But
that seems fun.
Yeah, it's interesting because in this machine learning, you are taking a lot of visual inputs and projecting it on a space that has lower dimension, like a smaller space, to group all the pictures of carrots into one point in this lower space. And I don't want to be too mathy, and so in a weird way, it's kind of like Gartic Fun becomes a game about exploring this latent space of symbolic, of like what are the most essential traits of what Plato would call the true form of carrots. And
each time you talk about a platonic thing, like I think about beauty, because I think it's the most, like it's a platonic symbol. And what's interesting, I think, is like these kind of adjective are often a bit lost.
Yeah. The concept of platonic is exactly what would be lost in Gartic.
Yeah, but like what's interesting is like some more like complex idea, I think, can be drawn very easily. But like when you say just like, oh, it's beautiful, then like it's very hard to actually draw.
Yeah, I like that a lot, because so we said that there is some sort of fixed points, but it's not what you might think, like always simplicity. And like a human person like yourself is already a pretty complex thing to represent, and yet it's more easily representable than beauty. Beauty is hard to draw, I guess. But there is some fairly easy concepts that will be lost, and I wonder why that is. It just because of nuances in the drawing style? Because
I'm wondering if it has to do with the language as well, meaning if beauty for French people are hard to draw, but for English people would be easy to draw for some weird like cultural reason.
I mean, then it's maybe not the same concept that you're talking about.
No, but maybe like what I mean is like maybe language structure your thought about the concept. And then like in English, maybe beauty is linked to other concepts that are easier drawn just because there's more words. For example, like I don't know, like maybe like then you think of pretty, and pretty you think about like I don't know, pretty woman, and then like you can draw pretty woman, and then like you go back to beauty. I don't know.
I think it's definitely true, but I think a Gartic phone is a surface where the information resolution, information bandwidth is so small that it wouldn't show, because most people can't draw for shit. So and that's why it's also fun, because it forces you into the symbolic a little bit, and that's why animals like cats and dogs are very strong symbols but are gonna be lost by the one who can't draw.
Cats never lost. Dog always lost. If you remember, that's insane. Like
I don't remember anything, that's why I'm vague.
like the symbol of cats, everyone could draw a cat. For a dog, it was always this like shape with 4 legs that didn't resemble anything, which is a bit weird.
You'd expect cats and dogs to have the same level of information complexity. And it's a mix of like visual complexity, semantic complexity, etc. And I guess in a way it's nice that we ended up talking about machine learning, because it's probably more or less what's present in the latent spaces of machine learning. Like probably machine learning recognizes cats better than dogs, though the information bandwidth is a lot bigger, so it's probably not noticeable. But
I guess that's true though, because like a cat is whiskers with big ears and a long tail. A dog can be anything. Like it can resemble a bear, it can resemble a cat, like a chihuahua doesn't resemble anything basically. Sorry for people that have chihuahuas, they're like the cutest little thing ever, but like, you know what I mean? Like they're not the most.
You're talking about the symbolic schematization drawing.
But like, you know what I mean? Like there may be more of a distribution of dogs than there is of cats. Diversity, not distribution.
I have another point. Do you think you can tie it to brand recognition? Because this kind of symbolic drawings, etc., are very like brand logos, and I'm sure people who know Nike will have no trouble using the logo of Nike to convey that idea on Gartic phone, or McDonald's, or like some very famous logos. And so maybe it's just cats are more marketable than dogs. It's just a stronger brand or a simpler brand.
Well, they're a stronger brand for sure. Like if you see the internet, like cats are way more present than dogs. The internet proves that cats are more marketable than dogs.
Marketable. So do you think Gartic phone is a measure of marketability? This thing about brand recognition, like I keep thinking, because you seem very sure that anyone is recognizable in Gartic phone, and I really think that some people, and I think I might be one, but I guess I have colored hair, so maybe not. But some people are not. Are those people with low brand recognition?
Ooh, that's an interesting. So that's a bit of a. It's hard to take example because it would be kind of mean, I guess.
Pointless for the listeners.
Then wouldn't it be an issue of people don't link you to anything, basically? Like, which is a bit sad.
I mean, I don't know. So maybe we can take examples from famous people, but I don't know that.
But not really, because they're famous, so obviously you link them to something.
Yeah, but do you know how to draw Shakira or Beyonce or whatever?
Yeah, Beyonce I could, I think. Shakira I don't know.
Well, I couldn't. I mean, for instance, Lady Gaga, you draw a lady wearing a lot of meat or something like that, and she's very Gartic marketable.
But Beyonce as well, no?
I have no idea what she looks like. We shouldn't talk about this kind of stuff. But you can have, like, for instance, doing. I did a game where we had to draw Emmanuel Macron, president of France. Physically, it's a bit hard. And you can use outside cues to...
Yeah, you can use symbolism.
So you can give him a crown and make a French flag, but then it becomes very temporal. I mean, you're actually saying the president of France, not Emmanuel Macron.
Wouldn't you put an old lady next to him? A lady with a cane?
Maybe. I didn't think about it, but...
And then a love and a friend symbol, I think like that would do the trick. It's fun how Trump, like I think like the symbol of Trump is having an orange face, which was kind of fun.
Yes, yeah. So it's a weird kind of marketability and symbolization that gets represented here. That doesn't tie to information complexity, really.
Yeah. I think if you have a very specific feature to your face or to your body, I think like it helps a lot. And I think that's why also like the glasses stayed, because like no one, it's very like in our group, like no one has glasses, I guess. Not really. Like everyone like has lenses or whatever. And so I think I was remember like that because it's a very specific feature. And like then.
Yeah, and you can reverse engineer how people think about you. Like when they met you, what idea of you they have in their mind, which is the Vlad of 5 years ago and stuff like that. And this game would be very different if you played it with your colleagues.
I guess so, for sure. But yeah, but like what's interesting about that, like if you're into marketing though, you need basically to have market recognition. You need to have a specific feature that like, I don't know.
Yeah. I guess it's a pretty good test, and they probably teach that in marketing school, like the Gartic phone test. No, I don't know.
We should be business professor at Harvard for like one semester to show how you can market your brand on Gartic phone.
I mean, it's a bit hard to say like we do it better when, for all you know, they do it all the time. Just like it seems to me like something that they would do. I know that one of the first things they say is make sure your logo can be rendered in the opposite color, kind of like black and white and opposite colors, it's resizable. So I know they teach stuff like that, so maybe they teach Chinese whispers.
Okay, I think we can just be transparent and say because we forgot about the new format, we forgot to say bye, so bye.
Okay. Well, yeah, and so let us know what you thought about the episode and about the new format. And if you hate it, we revert. I don't know. Thank you, and see you in not such a long time. So in 3 weeks we're targeting for a more heavy episode without follow-up section.